Welcome back. So how about this? There's a new report from Quebec's Order of Engineers, no less, that shows the reason why Quebec has roads, our roads, in such poor conditions. And it's not what you think, or at least what we've always sort of been led to believe, which is simply the fact that we have not built them very well to begin with, or that we're maintaining them, or not maintaining them well enough. Sophie Larivière-Mantha is president of the Quebec's Order of Engineers, and she is on the line. Sophie, thanks so much for the time this afternoon. I will tell you, we have talked about this because obviously when potholes became such a big story, we talked about this fairly regularly. Everyone had a different theory on why this keeps happening, why it's so bad in Montreal. And some people believe that it was because when we build these roads, we're simply using either inferior materials or not doing as good a job as other places are doing, not by virtue of the fact that we don't want to, but by virtue of the fact that we don't want to spend the money in the first place to build them well. Is that true, according to what you've discovered?
Well, there's a big complexity to the question you're asking. Firstly, I wanted to say, maybe to position the road system in Quebec. We have around 60,000 kilometers of road in Quebec, and in Ontario, they have 40,000 kilometers. So on a per capita basis, Quebec has 2.5 times more kilometers of road to maintain per resident than Ontario. And also, if we're looking at the other provinces that has a lot of roads close to what we have, they have a big part of their roads that are in gravel. So it's not the same level of maintenance that you have to do. So really, we have a structural, historical reason for the reality we have and the cost of our road system in Quebec.
So you're describing a system where, by virtue of paving roads, because we have per capita, as you said, more paved roads than any other province in the country, that's sort of where this all begins, because the more roads you have, the more you have to maintain, the less money you have to do it, you're going to end up with the kind of problems we have now.
Yeah, and a lot of our infrastructure dates from the 60s and 70s, and there was a way of doing things where we preferred to open new infrastructure instead of maintaining what we already have. So we didn't put enough money in the maintenance of all our infrastructure in Quebec. That's why we have this big crisis now, not only on the roads, but on all our infrastructure. With the deficit in maintenance that we have. So it's really a structural problem of the way that we prioritize what we had. And if I can put an image on that, it's like if you have a house and you decide to refurbish your kitchen instead of repairing the leaking roof that you have. So if you have opened all those infrastructure and didn't put enough money in your roof or roads, well, you have damage later on, and that's what we're living in now. But there's also many other factors. I cannot say that there's not some roads that were less well constructed, or that because we didn't maintain them, they are degrading faster. Of course, there's a lot of things that go into account in that.
So when you say a lot of other things, I'm trying to understand why. If we have, you have specifications that go into how a road should be built, why would there be some good, some bad? How does that happen?
It depends on the quantity of traffic. There's really a lot of factors that could degrade more rapidly some roads than the others. And also we have to consider that couple of years back, when we had all those infrastructure constructed, climate change was not inserted in the conception in the way we do roads,
right, like
we do now. So there's really a lot of factors that have to be taken into account for that. But the problem is we have a big deficit in the maintenance of the road that we have. On the $45 billion of deficit in all the infrastructure, more than 50% are for the roads only in Quebec. And we have the biggest asphalt road system in all Canada.
So we
have a problem.
Yeah, let me ask a dumb question, okay? If part of the issue here is we have all these paved roads and they could have been gravel roads instead, which would have relieved some of the issue, can you go backwards? Can you take a paved road and go ahead and turn it back into a gravel road?
Yeah, I talked to Alan Carter yesterday. I know that you did as well, but what he said is that it could be reversed. I don't know how it works. You'll really have to ask a specialist on that. And if we take a new road, let's say, it costs a third less if it's in gravel than if it's in asphalt.
Uh-huh.
But you cannot put gravel roads everywhere. It depends on the traffic that you have and things like that. But yes, it's something that we need to take into account.
Okay.
And the question that we were asked when we went all around Quebec to understand what were the issues with the infrastructure, people told us, do we need to continue to pave all roads everywhere? Should we begin seriously discussing about new founding models for infrastructure? We need to change the way we think about our infrastructure globally and also the roads. So we need to ask us difficult questions, and it's a way if we want to address the crisis that we're in.
So just as a last question, because I have to wrap up, you talk about what percentage of infrastructure that the government spends every year goes to roads alone. The way you're describing it, this is never going to get better anytime soon. This is going to cost more and more money to keep up every single year, is it not?
We have difficult decision ahead of us, of course. Yeah. And it will be hard. And we have to work all together. The population will have to understand the crisis that we're in and all the money and all the choices that we'll have to make. Maybe we won't be able to construct new infrastructure. We'll have to maintain what we have. We are facing hard times coming.
Well, that's great. Okay. Thank you for that.
Hopefully we have solutions.
Yeah, thank you for that wake-up call. Sophie Larivière-Mantha at the Quebec Order of Engineers, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not sure I heard any good news in there. Other than, did you know that we have more paved roads per capita than any other province in the country? I had no clue, but there you go. And that's part of the problem. Those roads have to be maintained. And she said gravel roads, third less expensive than that, but you kind of can't go backwards, it would seem. 3:30, we got news coming up next on the other side of that. Krista Makos, our CJAD legal contributor, is going to join us with a very interesting and potentially wary story for you to be paying attention to if you like to work or if you like to talk to employees at work about other employees, what you better be very, very aware of. That's next.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.